Alright, now Samsung Galaxy watches are great, no doubt about it. It looks great, feels premium, offers tons of features, and it does come with many drawbacks as well, and it is not perfect yet. Now, most YouTubers talk positive about Galaxy watches, but if you only watch positive, you won't know the other side of the watch. So in this video, I'm going to share some real issues with these watches and you must know these. So let's dive right into the video. Now, do you remember Tizen OS? Tizen was known for being a lightweight, efficient operating system on the Galaxy watches, which used to be on these watches long ago. We used to get smoother, faster user experience, most notably significantly better battery life compared to the Wear OS. But then Samsung switched to Wear OS, and for the last few years, all the Galaxy watches are by default coming with Wear OS. Of course, they do have the One UI skin on it, but the core operating system is of course from Google. And because of this Wear OS, the Galaxy watches offer just about 1 to 2 days of battery performance. And that's a big drawback for a lot of people out there, because there are so many smart watches which offers tons of health-centric features, and similar features what Galaxy watches offer come with some amazing battery performance. There are watches which offer battery life ranging from 3 days to almost about 10 plus days. Maybe if Samsung retained their Tizen OS and further developed it, maybe they could have improved the battery performance on it, because it's a quite light operating system compared to the Wear OS, but that could have been a game changer. If you look at Galaxy Watch Fit, it does offer about 6 to 7 days of battery life with all the basic features that we need on a smartwatch. But with the Wear OS, the battery performance is quite limited. The only advantage that we get is more number of applications. But hey, how many apps do you use on that tiny screen? You just use the basic apps like reminders, calendar, health applications, and a few more. But do you really make use of so many applications that you use on the phone? No, I don't think we do that. I would say the battery performance is more important than getting more number of applications with Wear OS. So the battery performance is one of the biggest issues faced by Samsung Galaxy watches. And like I said, there are tons of watches which offer similar features like Galaxy watches and yet offer more than 4 or 5 days of battery performance, which is really needed. The next major issue we face on the Galaxy watches is they get slow over a period of time. They start hanging, stuttering after a couple of major software upgrades. We have seen this happening on the Galaxy Watch 4 series, 5 series, etc. Many users have reported that the watch gets slower, the operating system gets slower, and it lags and stutters while using them. When we pay so much of money for these watches, we intend to use it for at least about 3 to 4 years minimum, and we want the watch to be seamless and flawless during this short period. But Samsung Galaxy watches did not live up to its expectations. The operating system, or let's say the touch response on the Galaxy watches, does get some issues over a period of time. Now, there are a lot of gimmicky health features which Samsung keeps adding. Now you tell me, how many health-centric features do you use? We use exercise tracking, which is very important. We do use heart rate measurement, and some people do use ECG measurement. But when it comes to blood pressure monitoring, I don't think many people use it because you will have to calibrate it every month and it's a bit of a pain. A regular normal user will not use it unless they have got some health issues, and if they want to measure the blood pressure, then they will calibrate it and use it. But the user base is very, very limited for these kind of features. But yeah, having them is really great. ECG, BP, cycle tracking for women, medication reminders, blood oxygen measurement, etc. But Samsung does offer some gimmicky features like energy score, antioxidant index, vascular load, AGEs index, etc. These are great. These are some technological improvements by Samsung. But personally, I do not see myself using it more often. When I buy the watch for the first time, I do check out this feature. It would be interesting to see how it works. And when we use it once or twice, we tend to forget those features even exist on the Galaxy watches. I mean, don't you really know how energetic you are during the day? And do you want your watch to tell you how stressed you are? Again, I don't think so. Even the stress measurement is completely based on your heart rate. If your heart is beating faster, it shows you are stressful. If you're sitting calmly, then it will show your stress level is very, very low. So it only talks about your physical stress, obviously not your mental stress. So some of the features are really great to use and some features are really gimmicky. Now, talking about these health-centric features, there is inconsistency in fitness and health tracking, which a lot of people have reported in the past. These Galaxy watches are not the best of the devices when it comes to health tracking accuracy. Many YouTubers have already pointed out this. They have compared the Galaxy watches with some of the other leading health-centric smartwatches. And a lot of people have given the rating of somewhere around 5 to 6 out of 10 when it comes to health feature. And when you look at sleep tracking, I really feel these watches do not track the sleep that very well. When I break my sleep and get up in the middle of the night and be awake for even for half an hour or 1 hour, the watch has failed to recognize this. Sometimes it does recognize it, but sometimes it doesn't. It fails to recognize I woke up in the middle of the night. It just shows me the entire sleep cycle as a single cycle, which is not really good. So health tracking inconsistency is another issue that we face on these watches. Next, LTE connectivity issues. If you bought a LTE version of the Galaxy Watch, sometimes you will notice that the watch is not connected to the internet or not connected to the cellular network. I have personally experienced this. Sometimes it just says no network coverage or not connected. This inconsistency in network connectivity is always there on the Galaxy Watches. Sometimes we'll have to restart the watch to get the network back on the device, and sometimes it does heat up if you're talking on the watch through your LTE network. That's an issue when it comes to LTE version of the watch. And of course, the battery drain is very high compared to the Bluetooth version of the watch. The next issue is we get either no trade-in options or very low trade-in values for the Galaxy Watches. Now in the US and European regions, you do get to exchange your Galaxy Watches, but in countries like India and some other countries, we rarely get to exchange our Galaxy Watches with another Galaxy Watch or any other smart watches. And when it comes to the resale value of your watch, it is definitely low. You spend a lot of money for these watches, but when you sell it after a year or two, you don't even get 30% of the value. Moving on to the last issue, slow charging. It takes hours together to charge these Galaxy Watches. The charging tech has not improved. It will be somewhere around 10 to 15 watts. That is the max that we get for the Galaxy Watches. And if your watch is dead before you go to office or before you go to gym, you will really have to wait at least about 20 to 30 minutes to even charge about 10 to 15%. And you can't really take your watch with 10-15% of charge because it is going to be dead in the next couple of hours. So you will have to charge at least about 30 to 40%, and then you'll be able to use it for at least about 6 to 7 hours. So slow charging is another big issue. If it can charge to 100% within about 45 minutes, nothing like it. And sometimes you'll also notice you have placed your watch on the table and within no time the battery is dead. That is because sometimes the watch's sensors get active when it is placed on any flat surface. This has happened to me multiple times. Even though there was no health-centric features active on the watch, all the applications were closed, and when I place the watch on the table, the sensors start running and that drains the battery very quickly. That is another issue. These are some drawbacks on the Galaxy Watches, and you should keep all these in mind because you are paying a lot of money to these watches, and there are a lot of alternatives as well which can offer better battery performance, lighter operating system with all the health-centric features that you need. And I really wish Samsung improves the battery life. I wish they bring back the Tizen OS and improves that operating system, make it lightweight, give all the health-centric features, and give us at least 4 to 5 days of battery performance on these watches. That is going to be fantastic. We don't really need these gimmicky health-centric feature. The basic health features like sleep tracking, exercise tracking, ECG, blood pressure, cycle tracking, and a few more features would be more than enough. So I really hope Samsung improves on all these aspects and give us a better watch in the coming days. That is all I wanted to share with you guys. If you have any other points to mention, do let me know in the comment section. And while you do that, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like if you find this video informative. Thanks a lot for watching. You guys take care and stay safe. I'll see you in the next one soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.